Rick and Morty is one of the best shows I've seen in a very, very long time. It's probably the best thing Adult Swim has ever put on air, and I'm not sure why it's taken me this long to actually watch the show. I watched it a few months ago, way after they finished airing their first season, and I've gotta say this is one of the most imaginative cartoons I've ever seen. It really does play with the idea that you can do anything in animation. And since it's a sci-fi show, they do literally anything. And there are certain episodes where I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I just can't stress just how creative the show is. And not only that, it's really funny. The show is mainly about a scientist named Rick and his grandson Morty, and they go on these wacky sci-fi adventures together. And then there's Morty's parents who sort of have these side stories during some of the episodes. I especially like the subplot about the Meeseeks, where the Meeseeks are just trying to get Jerry to have a better golf game. Jerry is Morty's dad, by the way, and he's very incompetent. And Morty's mom, Beth, is a little more competent, and she's a horse surgeon, which is a really specific occupation to have. And then there's Morty's sister, Summer, who is sort of the typical older sister, but they have been putting her in more episodes at the end of Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2. Which, by the way, the first 3 episodes of Season 2 actually leaked. And I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself. I just really love this show. And I noticed that some people are saying, oh, Season 1 was better. There's only been 3 episodes of Season 2 so far. As far as I'm concerned, so far, it's just as good as Season 1. There still are some things that haven't been answered quite yet from the end of Season 1, but I'm sure we'll find out about those at the end of this season. I haven't even talked about the main characters Rick and Morty yet. Morty, the grandson, is sort of insecure, very fearful, not always sure of himself. And then Rick always knows how to get out of a situation, but always, like, drinks and is never sober, really. But they make a good matchup. You would think by describing it, this show isn't really all that special, because it seems like that typical animated family sitcom when I list off all the characters. But once you see the crazy things that happen in the episodes, you realize why it's so good. And despite the fact that it is a comedy, they actually put care into developing Rick and Morty's relationship. So that just makes it even better. So if you haven't seen Rick and Morty yet, definitely give it a watch. About 3 episodes in, I was already liking it, but then as I continued on, I saw all of these weird ideas they had for the show and just the potential of it. I haven't really seen creative potential in an adult cartoon like this since Futurama. So if you liked Futurama for that, you definitely should give this a watch. So if you've been watching Rick and Morty, tell me what you think of the show in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'd like to give thanks to my patrons this month. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really helps a lot. And if you'd like to become a patron, click the annotation. If you want to see more cartoon stuff, click the playlist. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.